Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Elite Weather. My name is Mr. G. I'm your meteorologist, and we're going to be talking about this weekend's weather forecast. As also take a look at the beginning of your work week and school week upcoming here. But right now, let's talk about our city of the day. Our city of the day is going to be the lovely city of Cody, Wyoming, over there in far northwestern Wyoming, near the Grand Teton Mountain Range. Now, Cody, this is a very expensive place to live, so I would love to live here, but there's no way. Man, he's got these ranches out there that are 10 million or more dollars. This is some expensive stuff out there, but it's also the home of Buffalo Bill. So I think, and there's a lot of Wild West, Buffalo Bill museums and things like that. So if you're out there, go out there and check it out. But it's a really neat place, man. There's excellent rodeos. Probably a good place to get steak too, with all the cattle ranches and things out there. So if you're in Wyoming, go ahead and pay a visit out there to Cody, where it's 61 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Very beautiful weather across the northern Rockies today, and we're going to be seeing that today as well as into your Sunday, as it's going to warm up a little bit as we move on to your Sunday, where you're going to see a high of 78 tomorrow, as that a little bit of high pressure starts to move in from the west there. That ridge starts to build back in across the western half of the nation. So we're going to see that increase in the temperatures after seeing a high of only 63 today. You're still basking in the afterglow of that cold front passing through that just moved through the northern plains in Minnesota, and it's now moving through portions of the Great Lakes and the Indiana and Illinois area. So they're going to be dealing with that showery weather and that cooler temperatures on the backside of that frontal boundary. So let's talk about our weather today. All right, here we are with your weather today as we talk about what's taking place out there today for your Saturday, September the 10th. So I hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend as we get ready for September 11th tomorrow. And remember the events of September 11th back in 2001. So here we are as we take a look at our live national radar right now. And you can pretty much guess where that front is, and that cooler weather is currently right now. As you can see it right here on the map, this line right there, these showers and storms. It's not a whole lot of severe weather mixed up with this. This actually has a very fall nature to it. We saw it come through Minnesota Friday, and now it's very slowly moving off to the east here, and it's moving through portions of Wisconsin and Illinois and into uh, Iowa, as well as in Nebraska and Kansas. I always cough when I do these YouTube videos. I never cough on my TikTok videos, but I always cough on the YouTube videos. And so we have this front here and that cooler weather, that leading edge of those fall-like temperatures that many of you across the northern tier of the nation are going to experience over the coming days. Even down to Texas, it's going to cool off, and we're going to see some nice 70-degree temperatures across at least the northern half of Texas. I don't think it's going to get down to Houston, but it might pass Austin, maybe get close to San Antonio. But we have all eyes are on that front. And here is where our tropical stuff is, our tropical heat and moisture here across the southeast. So we're seeing all that rain through the mid-Atlantic and along the Gulf Coast again as well. And then our other problem child is starting to diminish now. It's the remnants of Tropical Storm K. Now it's just a little disturbance out there off about 150 miles off the coast of Southern California. Boy, let me tell you, that came awfully close. I mean, really, really close to Southern California. There were tropical storm warnings all the way up to the U.S. Mexican border, all the way up, all the way up to the top of Baja California, to the Mexican and U.S. border, were tropical storm warnings. It was very close. I think if it was a lot stronger when it came up and actually continued on its course toward the north, it would have came on shore probably somewhere between San Diego and maybe Huntington Beach, California. And if it was a bit stronger, it would have held together long enough to make landshore, possibly still as a tropical storm. It's possible, but not likely. It has happened, and the last time that a tropical storm actually made landfall in Southern California was in 1939, where a tropical storm, back then they didn't name tropical storms, but a storm did come on shore at San Pedro, the Long Beach area, and Los Angeles had 50-mile-per-hour winds, and it killed about 45 people on land because they drowned in flooding situations or flash flooding, and about 50 people at sea whose boats capsized. Something happened that a ferry, I think a ferry or something, got capsized and had a bunch of people on it. So a lot of people did die at sea as a result of that in 1939. So that was the last time that a tropical storm actually hit the Los Angeles area or Southern California. They often come kind of close. It's rare that they're this close, but they do kind of pass by offshore a bit there where they can kind of whirl moisture back up toward the mainland. So they often do that. You see that every year where a tropical storm dissipates, but its moisture gets picked up and gets flung over the southwest. So we see that sometime, but they rarely come this close. That was kind of exciting. And yeah, in the back of your head, you're like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Because that would have been kind of exciting. It would have been weak, but it still would have been kind of exciting. So anyway, that's the live radar that we're seeing right now. Here is our watches and hazards. So we have a big red flag out there through portions of the northwest. So we got a lot of stagnant conditions, poor air quality as well across the northwest because we have that big dome of high pressure that's building in. So what's taking place is the atmosphere, the air is sinking from above to the surface. So it's starting to warm the surface as well. So we're seeing the heat increase. Not too bad right now. Probably it will definitely increase over the coming days. But we're going to start to see things warm up across the northern Rockies and the northwest. So as that dome of high pressure builds back in, and we have our rain here across the southwest over California, portions of Arizona and Nevada, where we have the remnants of Tropical Storm K. So that's going to be some heavy flooding situations. And then across Texas here, this is air quality. So we have problems with stagnant air and air quality issues, ozone, particularly, especially in the big cities, Dallas, Fort Worth, we have Austin and San Antonio. So those three big cities are going to be dealing with some ozone issues. And check this out. Definitely fall weather here across the north and North Dakota. So Minot here and Aberdeen, these areas are dealing with a frost warning this morning. So we saw temperatures in the 30s, cold enough. Oh boy, check that out. All right, so some cooler weather definitely taking place across the north central U.S. How about that for everybody? Now here we are as we take a look at our current temperatures and high temperatures today. 71 degrees up here in the Twin Cities. It's about 66. We might make it. It's a lot of puffy clouds out there, a lot of pretty fair weather cumulus today in that cooler air aloft in the atmosphere. So we're looking at 71 degrees. These are some of the temperatures across America right now. So a lot of 70s and 80s out here. Not too bad. I'm not seeing much in the way of 90s, even upper 80s down here in Florida. We're even seeing those 80s out here and a couple of low 90s out here in Texas. We don't really see any 90s until we get to the southwest here, where we're seeing those 90s down there in Phoenix. And we're seeing 80s down in San Diego and Los Angeles, but they're getting that cloud cover and rainfall from tropicals. Now, it's not a whole lot of rain right now. It's a lot. You might see some scattered batches of as those bands come on shore, brief rounds of heavy rain across the southwest. And that's the temperatures. But look at that, 91 degrees up there in Seattle. So you see that ridge of high pressure starting to build in. We got the 87 in Salt Lake City or Boise out there, and also 85 in Salt Lake City. But you were seeing how it's 104 in Medford, Oregon. So you definitely see how that high pressure is starting to build back in across the west. And we have troughing here through the Midwest and toward the east. But we're going to be taking a look at our maps and stuff here in just a moment. Here's our surface and the analysis. All right. Can you all say surface analysis? Here's where all of our fronts and areas of high pressure and low pressure on the surface. Okay. Here's our big boy, our big cold front here that's really making those temperatures drop in the Midwest, so Minnesota and Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, all the way down to North Texas for your Sunday. We're going to be starting to see those cooler temperatures. We're 66 degrees right now in the Twin Cities. So you're definitely seeing cooler weather. But if you look over here, back here where you got this flow coming up from the south, that's that high pressure going to start building back in out here toward the west. So we're going to start to see things warm up. We do have an area of low pressure out there, but it's going to go north into Canada. So it's going to go over the top of our building ridge here. So it's not strong enough to really suppress and flatten that ridge. It's going to go over the top. So then we have our area of high pressure across the Four Corners. The Four Corners high has also been responsible for a strong offshore flow over Southern California, which has fanned the flames of the Hemet fire out there. A very spectacular fire. Have you seen the video, especially on TikTok? You should see the video that people are posting from this fire. Very photogenic fires. Where it's burning in the canyon. It's beautiful images that it's taken. People have video and pictures that people have taken of that fire. So that's that area there. And there's also a little bit of monsoon action still in this area as well. And here we have our tropical influence off of the Bermuda High over the Atlantic, and our southeasterly flow off of the Atlantic and the Caribbean is going to be funneling in that moisture across the Gulf Coast, Florida, all the way over to Texas here. But we're going to keep seeing that showers and thunderstorms as well across the southeast, as we have this very old front that just refuses to wash out. And there's not really much in the way difference in the temperatures on the front versus the back of the front. On one side, it's more the humidity and the moisture is here, and it's a little bit drier air here as we have more of an offshore influence to the north of the front, and we have an onshore influence, or at least the Atlantic influence here. But we do have this area of high pressure, a small area of high pressure, that's kind of keeping things nice across the northeast for your Sunday, at least until it's not really a blocking high. It's what's called a transition high, a transient high, which means that it's moving off. It's not blocking storm systems from advancing forward. So it's a transient high. So that's what we have for your Sunday. And the fans in here is making my eyes water and itch. I always get that when I do these YouTube videos. Maybe it's telling me whether or not I'm making a good video. If my eye itching, it's like, you suck. Get off the air. So anyway, let's go now as we take a look. See? All right, there's our energy here across the Northeast. This is going from today into Monday. So you're going to see this quick blip of low pressure. It's going to form right here through portions of the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes here over Michigan and Ohio. You see that low pressure center? And it's going to round the base of this trough. You see the trough. You see the trough in here, that dip in the atmosphere. It's going to round that base. But you see how it didn't exist? Then it spins up here. It's going to race off to the northeast. And this was going to cause the potential for flash flooding and flooding rain into portions of the mid-Atlantic states for your Sunday. And here's our other ridge of high pressure moving to the east across Texas and the Gulf Coast. So we might see a couple of dry days across the Gulf Coast because of this transient ridge here across the south. But we're going to start to see our ridge building over the north over the next few days. But right now, we got a nice little bit of troughing and a good onshore flow that's cooling things off a little bit across the western half of the United States. Now, here we are as we talk about our non-existent severe weather threat. We have a little bit of severe weather possible here through portions of Nevada, and that's going to be mostly because of gusty winds. And we have our heavy rain potential here across the southeast today. So we got that potential for heavy rain across the southeast. So that's it for severe weather for tomorrow and on Monday. So Saturday, not much in the way of severe weather to talk about. We have our frontal boundary, but it's not really a severe weather producer. It's more just a cooler air. It's got fall type rain, so we're gonna get that nice gentle to moderate rain, light to moderate rain. Nothing real heavy associated with it, guys. We might pick up some soaking rains here through portions of the mid-Atlantic on your Sunday, but it's enough to cause a little bit of flooding because it'd be quite a bit. But it's going to be kind of a long duration rainfall, and it might be just enough to allow that rainfall to be able to soak in a little bit if it doesn't rain too hard, too fast. But I don't think we're going to see any of that. I think we're mostly going to be seeing small stream and a little bit of street flooding, as some of that rain could be pretty persistent when you come into your Sunday. Here's your regional forecast. We're going to quickly go through this. Here's that remnants today of that tropical storm over off the southwest coast. That's where we could be seeing some flash flooding because you can pick up to 3 inches of rainfall through portions of Southern California today. And our other area of rainfall that could be heavy across the southeast, where we could be seeing our other area of some severe thunderstorms or gusty winds and heavy rain is going to be the primary threat. Scattered showers and storms through the entire southeast here, Florida, as well as across the dirty south here along the Gulf Coast, through the Appalachians, and into a good portion of the Midwest here in the Great Lakes. Some showers and rain, cooling rains. It's not going to be severe weather or anything like that, but we will see those thunderstorms across the southwest through portions of Texas here, New Mexico, Arizona, and into Southern California. We're going to be seeing those showers and thunderstorms as some monsoon moisture is still caught up in this as well, and those showers and storms through portions of the Central Plains through Colorado, through Nebraska, and Kansas. So we're going to be dealing with some showers there. But dry weather today across the northern tier of the nation. So the Northwest, Northern Rockies, the Northern and High Plains, and the up and portions of northwestern Minnesota. We can see a stray shower across southeastern. Now, the showers that we're seeing on the backside of the front is going to be because of cold air, and there's a little bit of warmth at the surface and cooler air aloft. So you're going to see some of that warm air rise into that cooler air. So it's going to make some spotty showers on the back of the front. Not looking for any widespread areas of rainfall on the back of the front here. Most of that is going to be right along the front where we can see our prolonged area of rainfall. And you can see it for all day because it's a slow moving front. And we have our scatter stuff out here because we have a few troughs and impulses of low pressure that's going to be making things unstable. And you can see those scattered showers and occasional storms out there. Here we are for your Sunday. Now, for your Sunday, we have our front slowly. See, it doesn't move too far to the east here for Sunday, but it can drop a little bit of heavy rain here through portions of Wisconsin. So southeastern Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Kenosha and Racine could pick up a little bit of heavy rainfall there, maybe some thunderstorms. And we have our heavy rain and thunderstorms here across the mid-Atlantic states. So North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, that region, far southeastern Pennsylvania. So Philly, DC, Baltimore, and Charlotte. You guys are under the gun for some heavy rain tomorrow from some thunderstorms in that region, and our scatter stuff across the southeast along the Gulf Coast. Now, all of this is going to be seeing rain. Some of you may not get anything, but just know you have that chance, and that can happen. So a lot of scatter stuff across the southeast, dry weather across the northwest, the northeast as you wait for that frontal boundary, and dry weather across the center of the nation up to the U.S.-Canadian border, dry from Minnesota all the way over to Oregon and Washington, dry weather for you guys and comfortable temperatures. It's going to get a little bit warm across the Pacific Northwest as our high pressure starts to build in out far toward the west off of the Pacific. And as we take a look at your Monday, so here's as we start your new work week, school week, your Monday forecast. Still some rain across the southwest, those monsoons, and a little bit of moisture still left over from the remnants of Kay. So we're going to be seeing some more isolated showers and storms out across the western half, from Nevada through Southern California, Arizona, and southwestern New Mexico. That potential exists. But again, with that, a lot of you won't see anything. It's just going to be some spotty stuff out there left over. And our front, look how beautiful this gets. Our front intensifies here. Our front gets a little bit strong, and we have a nice cold front here that's going to really be pushing off to the south and east. But look at that potential for heavy rain across Michigan here on your Monday. So Michigan, a wet day in store across Detroit and over to Traverse City, Pontiac there, and the northern cities of the lower peninsula of Michigan is where you're going to be seeing a little bit of heavy rainfall as our low pressure area kind of kicks up the juice a little bit, but it's going to remain positively tilted. So it's not going to be slow moving out of the area. It's going to race on out of there as it turns the base of the trough. And that trough is going to lift up and move on off to the northeast. So unfortunately, it's not going to cause too much of a problem for you folks in the northeast, but you will get a passing period of rainfall in the afternoon. But then most of that energy is going to be centered over into Canada as it's going to race off to the northeast as we move into Monday. But its trailing cold front is going to bring a couple lines of thunderstorms down the southeast coast over to the state of Florida. And that is a look at the weather. Again, beautiful weather is going to continue across the center of the nation up to the northern. I almost forgot the center of the nation. I often forget Minnesota. People complain and say, you don't talk about Minnesota. Well, here we are talking about a little bit of Minnesota. Another beautiful day for Monday across Minnesota and the plains, all the way down to Texas. Cooler weather across the state of Texas, 70s and 80s for your Monday. But if you see this trough right here on this side, if you're west of that, it's going to start to warm up. So we're going to see those temperatures climb back into the 90s and maybe some triple digits as well, start to come into the northern Rockies and the little deserts here of Oregon and Washington. Those plains on the lee side of the Cascade Mountain Range can see a lot of heat again as we go on into your Monday. So that is a look at the weather forecast. Oh yeah, I am just all off of my game today, aren't I? Tropical outlook. There's not really nothing to say. Tropical outlook, this is the moisture that's currently falling, or potential that we can see across California. And a lot of this is a half inch here. Here's Ventura, Santa Barbara, but LA in the basin, Orange County, a half inch up to, so a half inch, a quarter inch to a half inch predominantly across the west facing beaches of Southern California. So we see those scattered rain showers, maybe up to an inch through portions of Arizona, and we can see some of those monsoon storms out here through New Mexico. So that is a look at that. Here we are as we look at the Atlantic Basin. Nothing. This is why I'm screaming angry, because I'm telling the National Weather Service, the hurricanes, I don't see how we're going to have 18 named storms. I don't see it. We barely had 4. We had four named storms. We had 4 storms, period. Okay, yeah. Nothing. That dust off of the Sahara has made a cap in the atmosphere. There's that layer of warm air. We've had a lot of weather. See this here? This has been a problem. This troughing off of the East Coast, we've had a persistent southwesterly flow because we've had a lot of moisture across the southeastern United States. There's been weather fronts out here the whole summer. The entire summer, there have been weather fronts off the southeastern coast and along the Gulf Coast. And what those do is they create wind shear. They create a westerly flow. And the tropical systems don't like that. They can't develop with that. It's a lot of there's a lot of shearing. It's called shear. They cannot develop with a lot of wind shear in place. So we're not going to see a lot of tropical action. There really hasn't been a whole lot. Well, we've had K. So we've gotten to K in the Pacific. But look, It's all going now too. There are no waves to worry about. There are general thunderstorms here. This is the intertropical convergence zone. But look at that. Even this is kind of quiet. So there's not a whole lot to speak about in the tropics right now. So that's going to do it for this weather forecast. I'm out of here. I'm going to go relax, watch some TV, eat junk food. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video, because tomorrow on Sunday we're going to talk about the week ahead, and we're going to look at some forecast models tomorrow. All right. So that you can kind of get a general idea of what to expect on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. All right. Peace. Bye bye.